There are multiple that I can't forget. There was a little boy who was really shocked and he was shaking, and his eyes were just, there was so much terror in his eyes, and a healthcare worker.
Bro, I think I know what she's talking about, dude. It's this baby, he's very shocked, he's all like, I think she's talking about that baby, dude. I swear, man.
Was being so compassionate, and you see that compassion, and he finally was able to cry because he was just so shocked he couldn't even cry. And then Hindra Job's voice on the phone.
Oh.
Yes.
I'll never forget. And I know some people can't even listen because it's so hard.
Hindra Job. That's what this whole song is based on, bro. Hints Hall. Hints Hall, bro.
But, and I think that's, you know, that's so understandable, but as just, her voice, and a little boy who was staring at the wall who had lost his whole family.
You've been so out of sight, blowing clouds of love. The fire in our hearts.
Fuck up.
Certain ones just stick in your head, and you just think about your own children. And so silence wasn't a choice for me.
Beloved children's creator and educator Miss Rachel, who is often referred to as the modern-day Mr. Rogers, or for Canadians, the modern-day Mr. Dressup, is opening up in a recent interview with Mehdi Hassan on her support for children in Gaza. This is after a full year of attacks from right-wing groups aligned with the Israeli government, including a new one that I will get to in a bit here. So I want to highlight this story because I haven't discussed the attacks on Miss Rachel yet, largely because I've tried to avoid just the complete disappointment I have in humanity over these attacks, because Miss Rachel is such a good person, both in terms of the content that she puts out, but also you can tell the stuff that she fights for, putting herself on the line to speak out on what's been happening in Gaza, when it would have been so easy for her to simply ignore this. As somebody who works in a apolitical space, you know, children's content is not typically viewed as heavy material. But being willing to put herself out there and her reputation out there in standing up for what she knows is right, I think she deserves so much credit for doing that. And I want to share a couple of clips from the interview that she had with Mehdi Hassan. So first, just to lay some basic facts about what's been going on and what's been driving her her desire to speak out on this. From the UN here, more than 1 million children in Gaza deprived of aid for over a month. This is a story from April. And that intentional starving of children in Gaza is now into its third month. So, as Common Dreams writes here, in addition to cutting off deliveries of humanitarian supplies, the Israeli military has continued its attacks on food distribution facilities inside Gaza, further complicating efforts to aid the enclave's starving population. UN officials, human rights groups, and the International Criminal Court have accused Israeli leaders of using starvation as a weapon of war in Gaza.
Yeah, no shit. We've been seeing this shit for like a whole year now. They've been blocking food and aid.
And just some figures worth noting here from the UN. At least 100 children are reported killed or injured every day in Gaza since the strikes resumed on March 18th. Young lives cut short in a war not of children's making. Since the war began 1.5 years ago, 15,000 children were reportedly killed. Let me get to Miss Rachel now. So this was almost exactly a year ago. No, actually, exactly a year ago. This video was put out with Save the Children. So Miss Rachel has been working with Save the Children to get a message out and try to raise money for children in Gaza. Let me just play a bit of this.
It came to me this morning called Messages of Love to Children for Children, and I'm wondering if I can get your help with it. Please tag Cameo in the comments so we can make this happen together. The idea is I'll make videos for little ones, and all the money raised on my end will go to Save the Children's Emergency Fund, which will go to children living in conflict, Gaza, Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ukraine, Hopefully I can make little ones smile
That is so fucking sweet, dude. Oh my gosh. She's literally giving money to all the places that are suffering.
by giving them a personal video, and then the money will go to help more children living in unimaginable circumstances.
So,
Wow.
what comes off to me as a very innocent message? This is someone that wants to help children faced in or facing conflict in anywhere in the world. Gaza being one of those conflicts, and this led to massive backlash, largely propagated by far-right pro-Israel groups, and of course, people jumping onto that bandwagon at the time. So, just headline here from NBC: Viral Kids creator Miss Rachel says she experienced bullying after fundraising for children in Gaza. And that's born out of this video here. I'll just play a bit of this.
Is so bad. It's so bad. But I can handle this. Saying I don't care about all kids is like, it just hurts so bad. That is who I am. I love my neighbor. I love every child. Imagining for 1 second what a mom is going through, unable to feed her child, or give her child clean water, or keep her child safe. I can do this. I can do this. The bullying is...
So, I've had a hard... This is why I've avoided this story up until now. Just seeing people who are uniquely
Evil.
good people.
Evil people attacking her, bro. Fucking Zionist pieces of fucking trash.
This kind of backlash for doing what is right is just so disheartening. And this story from a month ago. So this bullying has gone on for, off and on for about a year. Now it's gone even further. Pro-Israel group asks DOJ to investigate Miss Rachel over posts on Gaza children. Stop Anti-Semitism, which is just a pro-Israel propaganda group, questions if beloved children's entertainer acted as a foreign agent to spread propaganda.
This is how my co-founder and I
So fucking stupid, dude.
quit our jobs and created 200 ramen recipes from our kitchen. Meet us.
Like the most ridiculous fucking world we're living in. Like,
Speaking out on behalf of children suffering in Gaza is somehow propaganda to an actual propaganda group, which is Stop Anti-Semitism, which that isn't their goal. Their goal is to defend the Israeli government as they commit war crimes. I mean, their leaders are under arrest warrants for starvation, for crimes against humanity. It's just this story is just incredibly frustrating. I want to play a couple of clips from this interview. So I watched the full thing. I want to be clear. This is paywalled, so I'm not going to share anything that isn't public already. But if you do want to watch the full interview with Miss Rachel on Zeteo, you can go check it out. I will link to it below the video. Of course, you'll have to pay to subscribe. But I will share a couple of clips. And one of them, the second one, is a bit of a tearjerker because she discusses the stuff that she's seen and just giving you a warning there. But here's the first clip.
You have 2 kids of your own. Is that why you decided to speak out about what's happening in Gaza, specifically with children in Gaza, because of what's happening to the kids there?
I do think being a mother makes you put yourself in that situation. And I think my background in early childhood makes me think about that crucial brain development time of 0 to 3. So if you're being malnourished and you're seeing trauma and you're losing your family, that's a really crucial time of brain development. So I think about that. And then I think just empathy for all kids, which I've always had.
Is it something you followed always, or did you also, like millions of other Americans, come to this via social media, just seeing these horrific, tragic videos?
So I had been working with Save the Children prior. When the show became successful, I got an agent, and my agent was like, tell me about what you want to do. And I was like, I want to be connected to charities, and I want to do work helping children. So I got involved with Save the Children.
Great charity.
Yeah, and I was learning from their team and their CEO about a lot of things going on with children here in the US, food insecurity. I was learning about the Congo. She had just come back from there, and they asked me if I wanted to have a meeting with her, and I wanted to learn about that. And I just asked, like, what is a day like for kids there? And then she was in Gaza, and she came back, and they said, would you want to meet from her and hear what it's like for kids there? And I was like, definitely. So I heard from her, and I knew she was there, and she was describing what was happening firsthand. And then, of course, I did see the distressing, horrific images online. And of course, certain ones just stick in your head, and you just think about your own children. And so,
Yeah, dude,
silence.
I remember a video, bro. I think I saw this video on like the Cult of Dusty Smith's channel. Thank you, Dusty. Shout out, bro. But like, oh my god, dude. It was literally like, you know how in Team Fortress 2 you shoot a rocket at the ground and like the force of the rocket pushes you up so you can rocket jump? Dude, this video was literally of like a IDF missile, you know, like hitting a fucking building. And you see a person, it's kind of far away, but you see a person getting launched into the air, like really fucking high up. You know he's gonna die when he hits the ground. And like, that's the kind of shit that's so fucked up, bro. Like, they're literally killing, like, they're just murdering people for all different types of weaponry and with food and with water. And then like, bro, I even saw another one with like, there was a kid on a fucking building, right? A missile hits the building, it blows up, and the kid gets launched to another building, like the top of another building. Like the force of the missile literally launches him across. Like, imagine all the people that have just been flung around with all these fucking 2,000-pound bombs. Like, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up, man.
This wasn't a choice for me.
Silence wasn't a choice for me.
It's so fucked up.
The reality is, it was a choice. She could have not said anything. She could have done what a lot of people in her space do, a lot of people with apolitical platforms, a lot of actors, musicians, whoever, choose to not say anything. Miss Rachel put herself out there, did the right thing because she realized she could not go on in the space that she works in without standing up for what is right. And she deserves a lot of credit for doing that when so many people are not willing to do that. I think it's important for people like me to counteract the negativity that someone like Miss Rachel sees in, you know, for doing the right thing. It's important for us to speak out on behalf of her and highlight how brave it is for someone like this to do what she does. So, again, all the credit in the world to Miss Rachel for being willing to speak out on this. And I got one more clip. Again, this one made me tear up, just letting you know. She tears up as well, but it's worth watching.
I know there are things I've seen that I will never be able to unsee since in the last 18 months. I just wonder, was there one particular thing about a child? I don't know. I know you've posted about a lot of individual children.
Definitely.
But before you started posting about children reaching out, I do want to come to some of the children you've connected with. But I'm interested in that moment in those few months after October 7th when our feeds were just crazy. I'm just wondering, as someone who's just an ordinary American, not Miss Rachel, the YouTube creator, was there something that just stopped you in your tracks?
There are multiple that I can't forget. There was a little boy who was really shocked and he was shaking, and his eyes were just, there was so much terror in his eyes, and a healthcare worker.
Bro, I think I know what she's talking about, dude. Oh, I think it's this guy. I think it's this little baby, man. This little baby, bro. I feel like it's this baby, dude. This one right here. I think it's this baby. He's very shocked. He's all like, I think she's talking about that baby, dude. I swear, man.
Was being so compassionate, and you see that compassion, and he finally was able to cry because he was just so shocked he couldn't even cry. And then Hindra Job's voice on the phone.
Yes.
I'll never forget. And I know some people can't even listen because it's so hard.
Hindra Job. That's what this whole song is based on, bro. Hinds Hall. Hinds Hall, bro.
But, and I think that's, you know, that's so understandable, but as just, her voice, and a little boy who was staring at the wall, who had lost his whole family and just was staring. And then there was a little, oh my gosh, sorry, a child in like a rainbow onesie. And my daughter has a rainbow onesie, and I had to give it away because, you know, you just see that and it just doesn't make any sense, because as grown-ups, we know what children need and what they deserve and what will help them grow into happy, healthy adults. And it will benefit us all. It's right to speak out because this is wrong, but it's also right to speak out because it's going to benefit everyone.
As someone whose kid grew up watching Miss Rachel, at least his first
God damn, bro, this is so emotional. Holy shit.
few years, learning new words, pronunciations, Miss Rachel was on all the time in our house. To learn that Miss Rachel is also a really good person and is actually impacted and by the videos that she saw and has real empathy, it's so good to hear, because often it's the opposite. You know, somebody that we watch or used to watch, we learn later on, oh, they're actually a horrible
They're evil. Yeah. I'm glad she's
person. They associate with terrible people. That's usually the case. This time, though, it's the opposite. And it's so good to learn that Miss Rachel is as wholesome in real life as she is in her YouTube videos. So again, all the credit in the world to Miss Rachel for continuing to stand up and discuss this issue despite, you know, the past year of bullying. She has not relented. Good on her. And again, anyone with a platform out there who, whether it's on YouTube or whatever, is afraid of speaking out and saying something, don't be afraid. Most of us are not insane. There will be people that will come out to defend you and be on your side. And a lot of the hate you receive will be from bot farms and people who are not actually people. So again, it's not controversial to acknowledge the reality of what is going on with the war crimes being committed. It should be noted, it's not a controversial position to acknowledge reality. So that
real.
said, I will link to the full interview with Miss Rachel below the video on Zeteo if you want to check the whole thing out.
All right, y'all. Check out Zeteo. They're a great media company. Check out Zeteo. They're very good. I supported them when they first started, but they're great. Thank you, Mark Farrell. Thank you, Mark Farrell, for following me, dude. We gotta get into contact. I would love to, you know, join you guys. Well, maybe we can collab. We can talk about Cuba or something. I don't know. I'm gonna end it here, guys, but I love you guys so much, man. Take it easy out there. Check out Zeteo. Check out Miss Rachel. Check out the Rational National. Check out Hassan. Support Hassanabi. What else? Support over Zealots. Support my channel, or give me a sub, give me a like, whatever you guys want to do will help out. Thank you so much for your support. I love you guys so much. Whatever, I don't care. I'm not like a greedy guy, so I take whatever I can get, you know. I love you guys. Take it easy, man. Support each other. Take care. Fuck ICE. Fuck La Migra.
In the land of the tyrant, where the sun never sets, we march to the beat of oppression's drums. With a powerful ally, our ruling fist is clenched. We'll trample over the weak, our kingdom will never crumble.